Hello all. As I promised, I'm working hard to see how I can record and have this presentation sent to you. And I'm coming now to chapter 7, and I'm going to break each chapter down into smaller pieces. And here we're going to look at the genitive and the dative cases. Remember in chapter 6, you already learned the nominative and the accusative. So now we're adding two more cases and you will understand their function do well. But to do that well, we need to first understand English grammar because understanding English grammar also helps us quite a bit with the Greek grammar. In English, we have the possessive case, possessive meaning belonging to, and it can be expressed in two ways. You can use the word of, book of Bill, or you can just use an apostrophe, Bill's book. Both of those express possession. In English, indirect object refers to a person or a thing that is indirectly related or indirectly receiving the action of the main verb in the sentence. It does not receive directly, but it receives it indirectly. That is the key thing. And in order to understand what an indirect object is in English, we can say the sentence Karen threw, that is a main verb. He threw what? What did he throw? What did she throw? A ball. Then how does Brad comes in? Okay, Karen threw Brad a ball. It means Karen threw a ball to Brad. So that is why if you understand indirect object, you will understand that this should be to Brad, not just Brad. So English uses the objective case to him when talking about indirect object. So keep that in mind. In the Greek genitive, it is similar in terms of indicating possession, but you have to recognize the Greek genitive by its ending, this upsilon, and then you have to understand what is a head noun in Greek. And here, laws of God, laws are the head noun, and then God is in the genitive, and you translate it of God, laws of God. The genitive will always follow the head noun. It will never come after the head noun. So try to remember this. Genitives tend to follow the head noun. So here, of God has to follow laws. And the keyword for translating the genitive is of. That is the keyword. So if you just see this, theou, which is the genitive, you will learn this case later, you translate it of God. You don't see any word in front of God coming here to indicate of, but the ending tells you that you should use of to translate it. In the Greek dative, the keywords are to, in, or with. Those are three keywords that you can use to translate the dative, the Greek dative. For example, you can say an angel appeared to him. The to means that this word him is in the dative case. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Spirit is in the dative, so you use the keyword in to translate it. Whoever is angry with his brother. His brother is in the dative, meaning you use the word with to translate it. You will have to use context to know whether to use to, in, or with. Okay? So the indirect object to is the keyword to translate the indirect object. He will give you living water. You have to think about this very well because he is the subject, would give is the verb. He would give what? Living water. So how does you fit in? It's in the dative, so you translate it, he will give to you living water. So theou with omega and an iota subscript. So in the paradigm, which you are going to learn more as we go on, here you have learned the nominative, you have learned the accusative. Now you're going to learn the genitive. Okay, you're going to learn the genitive and the dative. So that's what we're adding. So you have logo, genitive, logo with an iota subscript. Okay, so this is just to show you that. And then you have graphes, genitive, graphe, dative. Here of word, here to word, here of writing, here to writing. Here, this is confusing, you will learn this later, so let's just skip this. And this is the dative of work, here to work. Just introducing you here. So the paradigm in the plural, these are the plural endings for all the cases now. You have learned the plural for logos is logoi, the plural for logos in the accusative is logos. Now you learn that the plural for logos is logon, the plural for logos in the dative is logois. So, but the case ending here is iota sigma. That's coming up. And it goes through these paradigms. So the case endings will tell you whether it is a genitive or a dative, no matter the gender of the noun that you are dealing with. Next. The definite article has to agree with the nouns they are modifying in their case, gender, and number. If the noun that this article goes with, ho, is a masculine, it will be ho. If the noun is a feminine, the article will be he. If the noun is a neuter, the article will be to. If the noun is in the genitive, the article will agree is in the genitive to. Tes, to, in the neuter. So just the point you should know here is the article will agree in its endings with the noun that it is modifying, because the noun ending will be the same as the article ending, except in the nominative you have logos, but your article is ho. You don't have hos. That would mean something else. Ho. But just it's a good thing to remember the endings of the article will be the same as the endings of the nouns they are modifying in each gender and in number, whether it is singular or plural.